Happy morning. Today's topic is about the general toxicology, part 1. And in this video lecture, we will be discussing regarding the definitions, the salient features of laws relating to poison, the medical legal aspects of poisoning, and in later section, we will be discussing regarding the epidemiology and the nature of poisoning. The definition of First and foremost, the definition of toxicology. Toxicology is a science dealing with the properties, the action, toxicity, the fatal dose, and the methods of detection and estimation, and relating to interpretation of results of toxicological analysis, and finally the treatment of poisons. The word forensic toxicology, it deals with the medical and the legal aspects of the harmful effects of chemicals on human beings. The definition of poison. Poison is a substance either in solid or in liquid or in gaseous form if introduced in a living body or brought in contact with any part, therefore will produce ill health or death of a person by its constitutional or its local effects or the combination. The word clinical toxicology deals with human diseases caused by or associated with abnormal exposure to chemical substances. The word toxinology refers to toxins that are produced by a living organism which are dangerous to man. Example, venom of a snake. The word fatal dose. Fatal dose is the amount of drug that would kill 50% of the test population. And the word fatal period means time in which a person dies if a fatal dose is being given. And the other terms like venom. Venom is nothing but a special category of poison that must be injected by one organism to another to produce a harmful effect. An example is of snake venom. And snake venom is generally of a high molecular weight proteinaceous substance which when being injected results in harmful effect. The word occupational toxicology, and it deals with chemicals found in place of work. Persons who are working in various industries may be exposed to various agents during the process of synthesis, manufacture or packing of those substances or through any of the usage during occupation, and which results in harmful effects. Workman Compensation Act 1923, and if a person, workman, contracts any disease specified therein as an occupational disease peculiar to his employment, such as anthrax, primary cancer of skin, pathological manifestations due to exposure of X-rays, exposure of radium, or by poisoning by lead, arsenic, mercury, or phosphorus, and etc. And it is deemed to be an injury by accidental for the purpose of compensation. The other term is ecotoxicology, and it is concerned with the toxic effects of chemical and physical agents on living organisms, especially in populations and community within defined ecosystem. Laws on poison. The acts related to poison, first and foremost, is the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940, the Drug and Cosmetic Rules 1945, the Pharmacy Act 1948, the Drug Control Act 1950, Drugs and Magic Remedies Act 1954, Narcotic Drugs and Psychoactive Substances Act 1985. And we will be discussing regarding only the salient features relating to this act. And first and foremost is Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940, and it has been amended in 1964 also. And the salient features of this act is it regulates import, manufacture, the distribution and the sales of all kind of drugs, and it also ensures the control of the quality, the purity and the strength of drugs. And any patency should be displayed on the label on or otherwise on the container, and also it should enclose the list of ingredients on it. And this act is empowered the central government to form drug technical advisory board and also to establish central drugs laboratory to help and also to advise the both central and state governments. (1945), and it has been framed under Drug Act 1940, and almost similar to, and herein they give procedures for central drugs laboratory and appointment of licensing authorities, and also to regulate manufacture, distribution and sales of drugs, and they also classify drugs into schedule, and under each schedule where a group of drugs have been listed in. These schedules have been for the categorization of the particular agent, and the word Schedule C stands for biological and special products. Schedule E stands for list of poisons. Schedule F stands for vaccines and seras. Schedule G for hormone preparations. Schedule H are the drugs to be sold only on the prescription of the registered medical practitioner. Schedule J, wherein there should not be any advertisements regarding the drugs that have been mentioned in Schedule J. Schedule L stands for antibiotics, antihistamines, and other recent chemotherapeutic agents have been classified under Schedule L. And they also instruct the pharmacist to maintain a prescription register wherein the serial number of the entries, date of supply, and the name and the address of the prescriber, name and address of the patient to whom a drug has been issued in, and the name of the drug and the preparation and the quantity, followed by the name of the manufacturer, the batch number, the date of expiry of the potency in a schedule, in cases of Schedule C and L, to be described in a prescription register, and also a signature of a qualified person who is about to supply the medicine should also be documented in the prescription register. And here the both Schedule H and L drugs must not to be sold as a retail except only on the prescription issued by a registered medical practitioner. The Act 1948, and it was being passed and for better provisions to regulate the profession of pharmacies and also to constitute central and state councils of pharmacies to allow only registered pharmacists to compound or to prepare or to mix and dispense any medicines on the prescription of medical practitioner. Drugs Control Act 1950, and one of the major objective is to control the sale, supply and distribution of drugs, and also to issue cash memos for the sale and marking prices and exhibiting list of prices of drugs and their stocks. And it also provides a power to fix the maximum prices of any drug which may be charged by the dealer or the producer. The Act, Drugs and Magic Remedies Act, and which has been enacted in the year 1954. One of the major objectives of this act is to ban advertisements which can offend the decency or the morality and also to prevent self-medications and the treatment which can result in harmful effects. And here, ads in any form, newspaper or issuing a pamphlet or posting in a social media or otherwise advertisements in television, radios, and any other platforms have been completely banned in. And examples, any drugs that have been used for procuring abortions or drugs to prevent conceptions have been banned in. And other examples, drugs to increase sexual potencies, drugs to correct menstrual disorders, and treatment of venereal disease have been completely prohibited. If there have been any breach, then the individuals or the institutions can be punished in. Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Act, which has been enacted in 1985, and following it has been amended. Amendments have been made in year 1989 and 2001, and it repeals three acts: Opium Act of 1857 and 1878, and the Dangerous Drug Act of 1930. And the major objective is to consolidate and amend existing laws relating to narcotic substances, and also to strengthen existing laws relating to narcotic drugs. And it also prohibits usage of drugs for abuse, and also enhance the punishments, and particularly for illegal trading offences and its usage. This act also defines two such terminologies. First and foremost is narcotic drug, and narcotic drug, it means a cocoa leaf, a cannabis, opium, poppy, and also all drugs manufactured from them. Secondly, psychotropic substances, it means any substances either existing in natural or in synthetic forms, or any salt preparations or any such preparations from those substances or any material that have been listed as psychotropic substances. And also it also includes the derivatives as listed, and examples like amphetamines and diazepam. Punishment: if any person either produces, transports, import, sells, purchase, or use of any of narcotic substance or psychotropic substances. For the first offense, you will be punished with a rigorous imprisonment greater than 10 years, which may even extend up to 20 years, and fine greater than 1 lakh. And for the punishment of subsequent or the second offense, wherein rigorous imprisonment greater than 15 years, and which may even extend up to 30 years, and fine is from 1.5 lakh to 3 lakh rupee. Aspects of poisoning, and first and foremost, all the IPC governing or related to poisoning have been discussed. And first and foremost, poison and IPCs, and IPCs first and foremost 272 to 75 relating to any sort of adulteration or selling of any noxious material, food, it inclusive of food or drinks, and 272 adulteration of food and drink intended for sale, 273 sale of noxious food or drink, 274 adulteration of drugs, and 275 sale of adulterated drug, and 275 sale of drug as in a different drug or prescription. IPC 284, it deals with negligent conduct with respect to poisonous substances, and a punishment here it is 6 months of imprisonment or fine of 1,000 or both. Example, here in a housemaid leaves in a toilet cleaner in a acid, and she is being negligent on, she has kept on the table, and wherein a young child had an access, and he thinks that it is in a water, and he consume it, and he become ill health, and here housemaid can be sued under section 284 IPC. 277, punishment of for fouling of water to the public spring or the reservoir, and 278, punishment for voluntarily making the atmosphere noxious to health. And other IPCs from the previous chapters: 299, an act of culpable homicide, an act of murder, 299 and 300 respectively, and even individual can be sued under even 304 A IPC, causing death by an act of negligence. 324, voluntarily causing hurt by a dangerous weapon or means, and 326, 328, again relating to grievous hurt, and 336, an act endangering life or the personal safety of others, 337, causing hurt by endangering life or the personal safety of others, and 388, causing a grievous hurt. (326) IPC, wherein voluntarily causing grievous hurt by dangerous weapon or by any means, and here first few lines towards other instruments and causing cut injury, stab injury, and other, and the relation between poisoning and dangerous weapon herein by means of any poison or any corrosive substances, and any deleterious effect to human body, to inhale, to swallow, or to receive in blood, or by means of an animal, and it constitutes as a injury caused by a dangerous weapon and causing grievous hurt, and it leads to IPC 326 implication. And epidemiology of poisoning, and first and foremost, poisoning, both accidental and intentional, are significant contributors to mortality and morbidity throughout the world. And point number 2, 90% of fatal poisoning are occurring in developing countries and more prevalent among a section of our community wherein they indulge in agriculture. And thirdly, acute poisoning forms one of the most commonest causes for emergency hospital admissions. Of poisoning in a region, it depends upon variety of factors such as availability of a poison. Secondly, socio-economic status of a population, religious and cultural influences, and availability of drugs. As per India, the exact incidence of poisoning is of uncertain due to lack of data at central level, as most of the cases have not been reported properly, and it has been estimated 5 to 6% per lakh of population die due to poisoning every year. And suicidal, the intention of the poisoning or the manner of poisoning is being suicidal, and it is more common, rather accidental and homicidal are minimal. cause of poisoning in India and other developing countries is of pesticides, and a reason being the availability, and we are agriculture based economies and prevalence of poverty and easy availability of highly toxic pesticides without any documentation. It is easily available. The insecticides and pesticides and of all more commonly consumed are organophosphorus components, chlorinated hydrocarbons, aluminum phosphide, carbamates, and pyrethroids are the compounds more commonly ingested and most commonly reasons for highest mortality and morbidity among the community. And organophosphates is most commonly consumed and results in maximum casualties. Sex and age group. Among adults, females predominant in all age groups, and the vulnerable section is being of second and third decades of life, where maximum cases have been reported. And regarding the manner, in child group, it is more towards accidental, entirely accidental, and in case of an adult, it is of mainly of suicidal. Homicidal poisoning, there are rare in occurrence. Many Indians consider taking of life by bloodshed a greater crime rather than being poisoning the enemy or strangulating them. And poisons are easily being detected with modern analytical techniques. That could be the second reason for the least occurrence of homicidal poisoning. Of poisoning features, and they have classified ideal homicidal poisoning, and we will first discuss regarding ideal homicidal poisoning. And ideal homicidal poisoning should be cheap, easily available, colorless, odorless, and tasteless when it has been administered without any noticeable changes in victim, highly toxic, death should be instantaneous, signs and symptoms should mimic like a natural disease, and there should be a delayed effect where there is a sufficient time for an offender to escape from the scene of crime. And other features of an ideal homicidal poisoning are there should not be no availability of antidote, no significant post-mortem changes, not detected by any other methods, rapidly destroyed or undetectable in body, and out of these only organic components of fluorine and thallium satisfy the several criteria of a homicidal poison. Suicidal poisoning, and these are the criteria for ideal suicidal poisoning. First and foremost, the cheapness is not a criteria. The individual who is about to die, he can afford to consume any of the poisonous substances which can result in death, immediate death. So the money is not an issue. Easy availability, highly toxic, tastelessness and pleasant to taste, easily administratable, and one such criteria wherein the substance when being ingested it ultimately needs to cause a painless death will be the most common consideration. And second criteria will be whether pleasant to taste or tastelessness will be the second criteria, and third will be the highly toxic nature of the substance is important. And out of all listed criteria, wherein opium, barbiturates satisfy the above criteria, but in a real-time practice, wherein organophosphorus and enrine are more commonly being used. The features to differentiate ideal homicidal poisoning versus ideal suicidal poisoning. First and foremost, criteria is being color and odor and the taste of the poisonous substance. And in case of a homicidal poisoning, colorless, odorless, and tasteless. And in suicidal poisoning, any color, any odor, and taste, uh, any taste or the pleasant taste is be needed. And regarding solubility, and in case of a homicidal poisoning, it should be easily soluble in food and drink without causing any obvious change, but no such criteria in case of a suicidal poisoning. And without causing any obvious change, it means that the color and the texture of the food need to be remain the same even when it been mixed with a poisonous substance. If it has resulted in a change wherein the victim can identify there been a mixture of some extraneous material to the food and drink. And regarding signs and symptoms and clinical diagnosis, and in case of homicidal poisoning, it should resemble like a natural disease. And in case of suicidal poisoning, it should cause a painless death. And regarding the onset, it should be very slow. And in case of suicidal poisoning, the onset, the signs and symptoms should be quick. Regarding the fatal dose and the toxicity, very low and very low fatal dose, and toxicity should be higher, but in suicidal poisoning no such requirement. And in case of a fatal period, it should be of short in case of homicidal poisoning, and a fatal period should be very less so as to give a quick and a painless death in case of suicidal. And availability of antidotes, and in case of homicidal poisoning there should not be any available established antidotes, and in ideal suicidal poisoning no such requirement. The features to differentiate: detectability, it should not be detectable, and disappearance after death or the metabolism process. Here it should disappear and metabolism should be quicker. And regarding the postmortem changes, no significant, there should not be any significant postmortem changes. Cost should be cheap, but when you take the features like detectability, disappearance after death, metabolism, postmortem changes, and the cost, no such requirement in case of a suicidal poisoning. Coming to stupefying agents, and herein it has been used to stupefy travelers for a robbery or a woman for a sexual assault. And the most commonly used stupefying agents are datura, cannabis indica, chloral hydrate. Substance that are used as an irritant to cause abortions, and here the mechanism is by causing irritation of uterus or otherwise causing in a uterus to contract. And here are the substances like aconite, arsenic, calotropis, canthrides, croton, ergot, lead, mercury, oleander, potassium permanganate, semicarpus, anacardium are the substances most commonly used for a purpose of abortion. And the image what you see is a microscopic feature of an appearance of an ergot, and it is of an oleander plant. And here aphrodisiacs is a substance that increases sexual desires, and most commonly used aphrodisiacs are arsenic, cannabis, canthrides, cocaine, opium, and strychnine. And there is no any proven some medical scientific data regarding these substances as they increases the sexual desire, and it is just a myth. Are used with the tip of arrows for hunting purpose and also to kill enemies. And features of ideal arrow poisons are poisons. They are poisonous parentally, but safe orally. So prey killed by an arrow poison would be safe for consumption. It is obtainable from two base, and one is of plant base and second it is of animal base. And if it is of plant base, it is obtained from Abrasticatavis, aconite, calliotropis, croton oil, cura, and strychnine. And if it is of animal base, it is obtainable from snake venom. Cattle poison, they are used to kill cattle of enemies and or to obtain hides. And here most commonly listed cattle poisons are Abrasticatavis, aconite, arsenic, calliotropis, oleander, organophosphorus, strychnine, zinc phosphate. The image what you see here, it is of calliotropis and it is of Abrasticatavis, and the image of the flower of on a right extreme, it is of aconite. For a criminal intentions, with the usage of these poisons are used to kill, intention to cause serious injury, reckless usage can lead to adulteration, stupefying agents for the purpose of robbery and rape, not necessarily being rape, a sexual assault, for inducing abortions, annoying victim by throwing chili powders and other. Thank you so much for your patient listening. If there have been any doubts, query relating to the content of the video, kindly address those issues in comment section below, or otherwise check through any of the social media links provided in description section. Thank you.